Hey everybody, it's Emily the Crazy Worm Lady. I'm here today to take a little midweek look at the worm factory that we added kind of the mixed bedding with coffee grounds, and there was some food underneath, to see how they were getting along. Sometimes I wait camera cut off on me for some reason, so sometimes I wait too long to do these updates and then we miss some of the action, so I wanted to poke in here midweek. If you remember, there was a lot of celery in here, a lot of onions. Looks like there was some banana. And so I tried to add some of that mixed coffee grounds and all to it as well to see if that would entice them. And it does appear that they are in here pretty well. See some sprouts. So I'm just going to turn this. We'll take a look just kind of all throughout here. See what they're doing. Still looking really nice and fat, which is good. I think when I stay on top of the feeding, they can keep their chunkiness to them. I think part of it might be related to the fact that the moisture-rich food kind of keeps them well hydrated, so they look even chunkier than normal. Look at that, guys. This onion is trying to grow. Here's that celery, also trying to grow. Oh, that is too funny. If you don't freeze first, your food is more likely to grow on you than it is to break down. I'll just have to keep turning this up for it to break down on it for us. Otherwise, we're going to end up with a giant stalk of celery trying to take off. But everywhere I turn in here, not seeing any significant numbers of bugs. Still a lot of springtails, but not many beetles. And they are well into the food all throughout the bedding, so looking pretty good. Hey guys, time for the Worm Factory 360 update. And I wanted to see how these guys were getting along. It was a lot of onions, which are growing even more than my midweek look, and celery. I see a piece of ginger root. A lot of slow to break down type of foods. But the worms still seem to be in it and doing pretty well. So that's encouraging. Feels a little wet to me, but definitely not terrible. And the part that's good is that there's worms everywhere. I mean, absolutely every single handful I'm pulling up here, I'm getting worms. Here's our celery, which is trying to grow. That is so funny. But the interesting thing is that the worms are all along the outside, so it must be starting to break down, at least in some respect. So I'll just keep turning it. We've done celery before, and it takes quite a while, but they do get to work on it. I just find it funny that since I hadn't frozen any of that food, the onions are trying to take off, the celery's trying to take off, but just more food for the worms, just going to take a little bit longer to break down. But all in all, there's not any big pockets per se. Seems like the worms are pretty well mixed throughout here. So I'm just going to level everything out a bit. And I'm going to add some dry coconut coir on top. It's very lightly moist, but it's primarily dry. So first, let me lay down a little bit of my mix, because I am going to give them just a tiny bit to eat. something that might be a little bit easier for them to get into. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm just going to put some of this coconut coir down. I don't need to cover the whole surface, but I just want something that'll be a little bit absorbent. I think that should probably be pretty good. Still continues to look pretty well bug-wise as well in here. Very few, if any, bugs in the mix, so that's encouraging. So I just poked a hole in this apple. I'm going to poke a hole on both sides. This is why you want bedding. You see, as soon as you open this up, that's all water from one single apple. But part of the benefit to being able to squeeze it out like this is the juices will entice the worms up. And since I'm here deciding to make a mess anyway, I'll pull this into pieces. It'll break down a lot quicker that way. I could have done it the easy way and cut it up beforehand, but why do something the easy way? And then I'm just going to give a handful of some coffee grounds, some spinach that turned on me, and there's actually a corn muffin in here. I had a few extra corn muffins that never got eaten, so I just threw them in with my food this week. I want to avoid all grains, but if grains are mixed into your feedings a little bit here and there, it shouldn't be much of a problem. So that's a pretty decent feeding. So I'm going to top it off with some more coconut coir here. Going to put this on a little bit more carefully to make sure I cover up those apples. I still have a handful of fruit flies hanging out, but problem's mostly resolved, so I just want to make sure I cover everything nice and well so that they don't rear their ugly heads again. Oh yeah, there were some bean sprouts in our refrigerator as well. But the bean sprouts should not be too appealing to fruit flies, so I'm not worrying about that. So I think this is pretty much all that I need for today in here. So there's my signature throw on the ground. So let me know what you think, guys. Drop your comments below. Like this video. Subscribe if you'd like some more content from me. I'm going to give this another week and we'll come back and take a look, see how they did with it. And I will talk to you guys real soon.